Hi, this is Ben from Turnsounds, and if you don't pay your power bill, you'll be left in the dark.
Yep, join is ready.
Hello there.
No droid.
That R2 unit is in prime condition.
No, thank you.
I'm with the droid on this one.
Wow, relax your droid.
Congratulations.
Why, hello there. Hello there. And welcome to Astromech, your favorite Star Wars show. The show that we do to prove how much we like Star Wars.
We do?
And you can prove how much you like Star Wars by listening to this show and plugging Astromech. So,
Can we add in... Alright, send us an email if you'd like this, for the future reference. Because this intro is so funky, can we start it with a DJ Dexter or something like that? The DJ Dexter.
in hindsight, like I'll add a...
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
I'll see what I can do.
for the next episode.
Just talking about how much editing work I've got.
Yeah, well, look,
Welcome
it's-
to the future.
It's worth it for Dexter.
Okay, this show does need a bit of extra seasoning from time to time. This is episode 93, XCIII. So,
Okay.
93, yeah, that's the way. And I'm
That's
your
what
host.
Yoda says when he sees his ex-girlfriend in the street. XCI.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh.
No, that's
And then he
top
just
tier.
stutters
No,
and
that
says I
isn't
twice. Yeah.
Oh, that was top draw.
That
That
doesn't.
was.
No, that makes me uncomfortable. I
Okay.
don't like that at all.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna
don't
stretch
like
out
it.
for a high five if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, accepted.
And she's the mother of Grogu as well. That's okay.
Wow.
Move on.
Forbidden
Move on.
child.
Moving
Okay,
on.
who am I? I am your host, Isaac Mark Anthony. You know me as Isaac the Hutt, sliming
Isaac the
along,
butt.
running the show. One good joke has already been told, all right? That's enough. Benjamin is here also.
Oh, sorry, Andrew.
No,
that was funny. Yes, Ben Lars here, ready to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Go, let's
And Andrew's here.
farm some wars.
Greedo, Andrew Green this week. Hello.
This week.
This week, I'm Greedo.
Okay, well,
McClung.
It's a
What's-
great intro, I've got to say.
Yeah, it is a really cool intro.
I'm glad you feel that
Hypes
way.
one up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. I get little feedback, so it's good. Now, what's happening out there? What's happened in the world today? It seems that Anthony Daniels has had a birthday.
If you could please pronounce it correctly, it's actually Anthony Daniels.
Anthony Daniels.
With that in mind, why don't you lead us in singing happy birthday to Anthony?
And a
Daniels?
one,
I
and
refuse.
two. Okay.
Happy
Your boy has turned
birthday.
75 years old, and there is good news. Listeners, ladies and gentlemen, one and all.
Yeah.
I did some research. Apparently, in today's day and age, the average life expectancy for men
Oh gosh, here we go.
is between 76 to 77 years old. So he's still got 2 more years at least, let's hope.
Oh wow,
And
that's okay.
if you're wondering, it's 81 for women. Higher life expectancy.
I think there is a website like deathdate.com or something like that where you put in like your weight and your
What?
age and a couple of like factors and it'll tell you approximately when
I did that
you can
once,
expect to
and
die.
I died a long time ago.
You're
guys.
already dead,
I
right?
was
Yeah.
dead a long time ago.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad day. Yeah, no, it was his birthday, and the internet acknowledged that.
Prepare a birthday party is what Vader would say.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
Anthony
Instead
or
of boarding
Tony
party. Yeah.
later.
Cool. Well, yeah, you got some stuff to talk about as far as Anthony Daniels. Does he really say that?
That's technically how he pronounces his name. Yeah,
Wow.
it's Americans that pronounce it Anthony because of the th.
All right.
Or has
He
he
will-
just chosen to do that so he can correct people and
I
feel
have no
superior?
idea. Look, again, we'll talk about
Alright.
that whole thing later.
Well, opening the show as we typically like to do, we have some opening thoughts, and
Hey.
we're wondering what's in the craniums of you gentlemen today.
I'll be honest, not a lot,
That's all right.
but that's usually pretty consistent.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
Benjamin, you got anything?
Most of them tie into other segments, so I might save them actually.
Okay, this is really, and that's so fine, by the way. This is just if you had anything that doesn't really
Cool.
tie into other segments, you need to get it out.
Sweet.
For me, I was watching episode 3 with the family, and that scene came up, as it always does. And look, you're probably sick. Everyone's probably sick of me talking about, okay, so Chancellor Palpatine the 9-week-old elephant baby. I don't know, wrinkly skin.
We gotta get creative these days.
As he's getting arrested, right? All the other Jedi Masters die, and it's like.
Yeah.
For me, it's a travesty because you look at especially how big they were built up over the Clone Wars, this mastery of combat and, training in the Force and all that, and they just go down in like seconds.
Yeah. The squash potato just knocks them down.
That's it.
Yeah.
I want to say I know how it could have been done better, the scene, and how I think it would have been true to everybody's character.
Go.
So we're working with the premise here that he's a Sith Lord. Right?
Okay, yep.
And, super powerful, very dangerous, too dangerous to be kept alive, even. So what if Mace Windu and all the other Jedi, he had like 3 other Jedi Masters with him.
Yeah.
Do you see how ridiculous this is?
4 of them couldn't
Anyway,
take him down.
so they all come and they ignite their sabers. I reckon he doesn't even have a saber, Palpatine, right? He just gets up and he says, you're threatening me, all of that. I reckon he's just so overpowered that he goes... yoink, rips out, the sabers from maybe 2 of the people's hands and uses the Force to cut themselves down with their own sabers, all while Force choking one of the other guys. He maybe pushes one other over and they get knocked out. And so you just see his Force mastery is so off the charts, and I reckon then it just throws Mace off a whole lot more. And then it's okay, because we already know that he's super powerful with his lightning, those zappy bolts.
Which I guess they wanted to save till the next scene, maybe, because we hadn't seen that yet, had we?
No.
He's unlimited
but
power.
still, in the same scene, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
The only other thing which kind of backs that up is if you think about how much energy it actually takes to have a sword fight. I don't know if you guys have ever done fencing or sword fighting.
It's not something I spend a habit
So
any great deal of my pastime doing.
To my knowledge, there are 2 different sort of styles. There is fencing with a
rapier,
like an epee type thing, where it's all very stabby and parry type thing, and then there's saber fighting where you're actually swinging the thing. They're saber fighting, which takes so much more energy. And you're going to think this senator, this old man who sat in a chair for the last 20 years of his life, is going to be able to actively defend himself against the Jedi Master? It just, to me, seems a bit ridiculous. So I'm saying...
You're right.
Force abilities, he's able to meditate,
I think you go. Sorry.
I want to throw out because you've hit the creative nerve now.
Okay.
That cluster of nerves has just been activated.
Go.
Here's my take on how it could be better. Let's say they need a representative from the Republic to legitimize the arrest. So they bring along a senator to the scene. Jar Jar walks in.
Yeah.
All right. Jar Jar, he's not, obviously, he's just Jar Jar. He's still a pile of trash. And and he's doing the arrest, distracts Palpy Palps. And not only, that's right, trips him over, does whatever. So not only is Mace only at that stage Mace is able to get the upper hand, so to speak. We also get a satisfying ending to Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to just throw that out there as he's the first one to get cut down.
All right. Well, mine was more of a serious way that I think they could have done it better.
Yes, they had the raptor in there.
That was serious.
But
that was serious.
If you want to go with the more comedic flair, I want to say the better way.
There was nothing funny about Jar Jar Binks being cut down by a Sith Lord.
I believe you.
Okay.
I reckon the other way, they go, you're under arrest. I reckon he goes, okay, fine, you got me, whatever, let's go. And then as they're walking off, he says into his little collar thing, or he programs his Lobot thing, and execute Order 66, thank you. Boop. And then just walks away, and then just the carnage ensues. There you go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
More powerful. Yeah. That's
because at that moment, it's Anakin's word against his sort of thing. They could put him on trial, and he could just be like, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not a Sith.
Then
and he has control of the courts.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets to the jail or something, and there's just a moment sort of in between the transfer where then then the Jedi look around and realize that all the clones are turning on all this, and so they run off to fix the situation, and then he has a window to escape and kill the guard or whatever. So,
That doesn't really assert his power, so maybe as they're turning
what do you
around.
mean? That's like he's commanding the whole
Yeah.
army.
Yeah,
That's a pretty
yeah,
big
but
assertion.
I don't think as a Sith Lord, as the ultimate governing
As a
power,
what?
Sith Lord.
As a what?
Huh?
What did that? What?
A
What did
Sith Lord.
Oh, jeez.
Continue.
I'm glad you're entertained.
Like, did I
Every time
stutter?
you
Did
see
I
his-
say?
you see the
What
way
have I
like he goes,
done?
huh? Oh, what? Go for it.
Anyway, so they get that moment, that distraction from all the clones suddenly turning on them, and that's when he cuts down the Jedi and asserts his authority as a Sith Lord.
Very good.
Is that better?
There you go.
Nice.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or even you could leave the scene pretty much as it is, because that's cool to see as a show of how powerful this guy is. He takes down 3 Jedi Masters, or eventually 4.
With a lightsaber?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but you just need to show him actually doing it, and they need to put up a good fight, and you see, oh, wow, like he's really overpowering them, rather than them just kind of standing there swinging the thing, or just going, like,
Everyone's looking in the
they
complete
weren't
wrong
even
direction.
trying.
That's it. So he ignites his saber and then goes "Rah!" with the thing and then goes
Yeah.
"Ugh," and then lunges forward and the
He's
guy's
got a
still
whole-
looking the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so if
Rookies.
they actually put up a fight, and then that's
It's like
the
poetry.
display of how powerful he is, then that's great. I'm on board with that. But
Yeah, yeah.
it's just, that they didn't put up a fight is sort of what made it feel weird and off for me. Yeah.
Only other thing is, and Andrew, you could probably testify to this,
Yeah.
in a lot of the games, there is like a force confusion type thing that you can cast on your enemies before you attack.
Yeah, so it's like the Sith version of the Jedi mind trick,
Right,
essentially.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, potentially, but they would have. I mean, I would have thought they would have alluded to that in some fashion.
Imagine that. You're under arrest. I am not under arrest. You're not under arrest, Chancellor. Have a nice day.
You will bring me some coffee. I will bring you some coffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how I think it could have been made better. And
I
this has
like
been
it.
my TED Talk. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
There we go.
Thank you. Appreciate the outro. What do we got? Andy, you've got a corner, I do
I
believe.
certainly do. Yeah.
So, why don't you lead us into said corner?
I don't get the other special.
Mate, we don't have all that.
No. Yeah, so I do have a corner. So what I want to talk about this week is I took one for the team. I rode the content train.
Goodness gracious me.
Exactly, and I listened to Anthony Daniels' IMC3PO audiobook this week. It's not how. Yeah, I have feelings about this. So I texted you guys on the group going, hey, it's taken me 28 chapters to be able to listen to it consistently. So the first 28 chapters...
a lot of chapters. Were they long?
So they weren't very long. So
Okay.
the book ends up having about 60 odd chapters in it,
Yeah, right.
which is quite a lot of chapters for a book, but it kind of makes some sense because he does chop it into kind of little bite-sized chunks, I suppose. So the audiobook is read by Anthony Daniels. So put that in your little brain box and now you'll understand why I'm in a little bit more pain. His voice, I did not quite get used to it.
Okay, so we agreed right from the start that you were going to walk into this with an open mind, without hatred in your heart.
No. So I did, and then he immediately started talking. Actually, it's so the foreword is by J.J. Abrams, and he
Okay.
does the foreword and kind of the introduction to the book. And I don't like J.J. Abrams'
His
voice.
voice
either.
actually did the...
Yeah, so he spoke as
Oh.
the foreword. So in the book itself, it's got a foreword written by J.J. Abrams. In the audio book, he records it as audio. Yeah, so I mean the book quality and all that, fairly consistent with most of the modern audiobooks now. High quality, good production values, all that sort of stuff.
Cool.
So I listened to JJ. Also, don't like his voice. So it wasn't a great start. And then the first kind of 28 chapters, I really kind of struggled. And I've tried to break it down as to why, but I'll talk about that in a sec. Did okay for the next 20 odd, got to about chapter 40, somewhere in there, and then struggled again. And then towards the end, I did okay. And I think it's not because necessarily it's partly to do with his voice and the tone of voice that he has and all that. But I think it's actually to do more with the language that he uses. So when he describes certain sections of the book and certain
swearing or
no. So he's not swearing like a sailor, but it's just how he presents information. So he talks about certain interactions with individuals. Like he talks about when they went to Tanzania when they did the outdoor shots. Or
is that right?
Tanzania, I would have said.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway,
That place.
that place where they did the outdoor shots for the land speeder and the sand people and all that sort of stuff for A New Hope. He talks about this interaction with some of the local people, and I was shocked by this boy, and this boy was just equally as shocked, and it kind of pulled me out, going, well, how
he calls everyone boy.
Well, no, like it was a boy, but it was. What I'm getting to is that he supposes intention and response from people rather than
From his perception, though.
from his perspective.
I met
grates
someone
on
and they were so honoured to be meeting a celebrity like me.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Not word for word, but pretty close.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. He kind
They
of
were
assumes.
shocked, lost for words.
Yeah,
for a
he
moment.
assumes their response, and for me, that's
Wow.
really, I really hate that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
unless there's empirical evidence, like they say, I'm really honoured to be there. It only happens. It happens quite a bit when he's describing some of the interactions with people, and that happens quite a bit in the first part of the book, the first 28 chapters, and that was really jarring for me
Right.
and really frustrating, because if you're going to say, hey, Isaac really liked it, you want to know that Isaac really liked it, but in some of the scenarios, there's no way that he would know that this person enjoyed it, because they disappear or something else happens, or the crowd absolutely loved me and we were all having a great
be
time.
fair-
The second C-3PO appears on the screen, the whole audience was far more engaged in the movie.
He had some, so as a whole for the book, there was some really interesting stories in there, some really interesting stuff about, so the book is not an autobiography of Anthony Daniels. It's a biography of C-3PO and the
That's
man
cool.
who plays him.
That's nice.
Yeah. So,
And was it like lots of behind the scenes stuff or more?
yeah,
about
there was a lot of stuff. So Richard Marquand, is it Marquand? The director of episode 6.
Yeah, okay.
They did not get on. They did not
Right.
get on at all.
Probably why he tried to kill 3PO a few
Yeah,
times.
possibly. But there's a bit where he talks. So George Lucas was involved with episode 6 and was kind of the ghost director essentially of that episode.
Yeah.
And Anthony made it really clear to George that, because they do ADF, so the backup recording over the back of the visuals, and they sync it all up and all that sort of special technological magic, and that gets directed obviously to kind of match up with what's going on screen as well as intention and all that sort of stuff, and Anthony made it really clear that he did not want Richard involved in any way. Like once the principal photography was done, that was it. He only wanted George, because Richard was not a pleasant director to work with. But Kirsch, or Irvine Kershner, as he's also known, was great. And so there's a lot of talk about a lot of the interactions with staff and with production sets. He had a really great relationship with a lot of the props team and all that sort of stuff. His first suit was made of fiberglass, and it used to take him about half an hour to get into it.
Oh.
Really heavy, really kind of chunky and all that sort of stuff. The one for very McClunky. One for episode 9 was 3D printed. So much easier to get into, snapped in and out. So he used to, when they were doing like short takes, he wouldn't be able to take his helmet off to, get some air or get some breath. And a lot of the times, the only way he got any air was through the little vent in the face of his mask. But yeah, the 3D printed one, snap on, snap off, very easy.
Sounds pretty committed to the role to me.
Yeah. So he was, and you know, he's invested, and I think throughout the entire book there was a real sense that he felt like he owned that character, I suppose, and that's not untrue, and I don't know if that's necessarily a detriment to him, but there was a certain amount of ownership that you could hear through how he talked about C-3PO. He really does personify the character itself and the droid itself completely, like it's its own, C-3PO is its own entity. And he talks about, when he first was developing the role, he had to overact because, it's a very physical role. The only way to you can't get facial expressions or anything like that.
Yeah, and you can't even really move your arms.
Yeah,
outside
like he couldn't move.
like
He had a
your
very
elbows.
small range, and it was only kind of episode 9 that he actually could, articulate his fingers.
Wow.
In any kind of meaningful sense. So, so he talks about, how he had to overact and over-exaggerate, and I think that kind of plays throughout the rest of his career. He started off as a stage actor and did stage and Broadway and all that sort of stuff, and then moved through and got the part for C-3PO. They interestingly weren't going to make him the voice of C-3PO. They were going to put, similar to
Darth Vader, they were going to put somebody else's voice, but nobody else. So I think he talks about Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss apparently auditioned for C-3PO's voice, but there was no one quite, and it's because George Lucas hated his voice. Anthony's voice.
Yeah, when they were filming it, he didn't like it. He didn't think it connected. But then when they were going back through the audio and going back through, I suppose, matching it up with the actual visuals, the way he portrayed the character and voiced the character, that synced up real well. So yeah, he made it. He made the Professor.
Right.
I like it.
Out of 10, 6.
Okay. Not bad.
There's a lot of story in there. Yeah. I don't know if I could recommend it necessarily. I think it. I certainly won't be listening to it again. But there is some really interesting stories in there. I won't go through any more. But
thank you.
That's cool.
We actually had a recommendation already as well from old mate Old Bencor, who was also on the show. So he's come to a, I guess, similar conclusion to you. He did recommend it. He said that, it's fun that it's the voice of Anthony Daniels. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is fun. Goodness gracious.
Whoa.
I don't know what happened there.
R2 got in there.
Yeah. But there are a couple of notes there.
Yeah.
First of all, as a star of Star Wars, I think when anybody gets the chance to meet you, no matter who you are, if you're one of the main cast, they're going to be like, fumbling, and they're going to be babbling on about, oh, it's really nice to meet you, and oh, you're a really cool character. And so I think anybody that talks to Anthony Daniels, he's going to get the feeling like, oh, they were honored to meet me, because it would be an honor.
It's a bit pretentious to say that in a book,
so,
even if it's true.
So in terms of talking about individuals, that's, I accept that, but he made these grandiose statements about, audiences and groups of people. And so that was what was jarring for me. Because he'd say, oh, then the crowd was, clearly enjoying it. We had a great time, even though it was raining, because he talks about going to the first celebration.
Right.
And it was in Dallas, and it just poured with rain, and it was horrible, and got washed out and flooded.
Oh my.
Yeah. And yeah. Oh, but we all had a great time, and it was wonderful. And I feel like, well, no, I don't think everybody did. I don't think you can make that sort of a statement, actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
If you walk out on stage and people applaud, I think they're happy to see you.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, totally agree. But again, I don't think everyone enjoyed being rained on, and had a wonderful time.
Camino over there.
Yeah, it was. But he got really nervous meeting Tandy Newton.
Who's that?
Who?
So her character is in Solo.
Who?
She's I can't even remember her
L3?
character's name. No, that's Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
The wife of Beckett?
Tobias, yeah.
Oh, Val.
Val, yes. She plays Val in Solo, and he meets her. He happens, I think.
What was she famous? Like is she
I don't
in
know.
a lot of
I
other
don't.
stuff?
I know that she's done a lot of
She
stuff.
was in Mission Impossible 2, but
Yeah, I think she's done a lot of other stuff in a lot of other areas. And
3,
he,
actually.
he seemed to be. He said he was particularly starstruck meeting her.
Oh.
But yeah, so
yeah.
Was he even in Solo?
nah.
So
He
what?
went from memory. He went to set for a different reason, and he actually got called on as I think he got made the droid coordinator for The Last Jedi, because and you don't see him that much because a lot of it's cut. But on Canto Bight, there's a bunch of silver droids, and they're all actors within suits, and he directs them on how to stand and how to move and all this sort of stuff. They put a lot of effort into it, and then a lot of that sort of content was cut. So
I remember with you watching that whole extended Canto Bight chase. It's so long. There's so much stuff there, and the nudie guy in the bathrobe and everything. It's just some weird stuff.
Man.
Yeah. And one last thing for me is, thinking of that, the director for Return of the Jedi and him didn't get along. I can just imagine scenes like when Jabba punches him and knocks him over, knock him again, hit him again.
Do it again. Put more passion into it.
We need another take.
No, apparently he was just really rude and didn't respect the actors and stuff like that. Apparently there was a lot of conflict because of that. He also doesn't talk about, because he went on to the road. What was it Solo that they changed the directors for?
Yes.
Towards the end? Yeah, so he did meet the directors. I can't remember what he went into the movie for, but he did meet the previous directors. I think it was Phil Lord and
Chris Miller.
That's the one. And then, came back the following month and
Right.
I think he voices a completely separate character.
There you go.
I think that's why.
Nice.
I can't remember.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you, Andy, for listening to that book. I think
I stuck it out.
I'd be interested to give it a go. I have respect for this guy. I think, especially at that age, you got to grant people a little bit of their due, if that makes any sense.
Well, I'll pass it on, and then you can see what you think.
Yeah, appreciate that. It'd be nice. Alrighty. Okay, let's get this show on the road with how far along are we now? Yeah, we have a glass of blue milk, but if you like, we can save that for our people who are plugged in at turnsounds.com.
That's a good idea.
I reckon we'll do that because we don't have a whole lot of content otherwise. But for now, we're going to be moving on to jobs in Star Wars. I think that's what we called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
works.
Okay.
Jobs
We've reached the
in
part of the
Star-
program where we discuss possible jobs in Star Wars.
Take it away, Ben. You've got ours for today.
In Star Wars, jobs in Star Wars. Okay. Okay, so there are a few, but the first one that I want to bring for today, and I'll save another one for later, is the janitor or the cleanup crew in Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
they've got the job of cleaning up this whole bar, which is a messy situation anyway, because there's all these weird aliens coming through, spilling drinks and stuff. But then there's all the violence and everything as well. So
that's a
there's
good
this
point.
whole encounter with the Jedi. This guy gets his arm cut off. So okay, we got to clean up his arm off the floor and blood everywhere. Okay, they finally get done with that. Squeeze out all the mops. Finish up.
I thought you were
Okay,
going to say
great.
squeeze out all the arms. Whoa, that's
Chinese
a turn.
burn.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right, boys. I think we're done for the day. And then they hit pew, and Greedo's just been shot. There's another whole dead body they've got to.
They got all the
carry
carbon
out.
scoring.
Yeah, and Han just tosses a 50-cent coin. Oh, that's for the mess. Oh, come on, man. It's like half my day now. I've got to dispose of this corpse.
Yeah. Well, that's my extension question for you. How do they dispose of the bodies? Is it like a Breaking Bad type solution, or is it donate to science? Organ transplant?
I have an idea.
Feed the womp rats.
Feed the womp rats?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Like, what if the cleanup crew is carnivorous in some way, and
Well,
that's,
they just eat
that's their
everything.
lunch. That's their lunch.
Oh, no, that's dark.
It's awful.
But I like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have a land-based carnivorous cleanup squad,
yeah.
Gee.
and just wraps
And
it
they'll
up
just
and eats
keep,
it, digests it.
like the nice jacket or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, of course.
Whatever
I like
Greedo
the-
was wearing.
I like the idea of life-saving organs a bit better, but
Yeah. Well, I guess because there's so many different travelers coming through, there might be another. What is Greedo?
Rhodian.
Rhodian, yeah.
Might be another Rhodian around in need of a heart transplant just at the right moment.
I don't think he has a chest left.
Yeah.
Didn't he-
Okay.
yeah, there's a burning hole in there.
Look, I wouldn't go to Tatooine, let alone Mos Eisley, as my first choice for
Yeah,
medical
that's
help.
true.
But
That's true.
probably Coruscant or something. But hey,
Each
you
to
can't
their own.
afford.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you think about it, like that's a whole nother business. Probably like black market type stuff as well.
Or
like
organs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
finding.
you could
You could get
freeze 'em.
cybernetic.
What do they do? Carbonite.
Yeah,
freeze.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need a heart on the other side of the galaxy. Here's a frozen one, and off you go.
That's actually a very good idea. All right. Yeah. Good idea, Andrew.
Thanks. I still like my carnivorous lunchy times.
Of course you do.
yeah.
Excellent.
It's like a dip it.
What?
No.
Oh.
Just dip the end in.
No.
Oh dear.
Violent man. Ben, you need to say, and this has been Jobs and Star Wars.
And this has been Jobs in Star Wars.
Excellent.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good. I
It's
like
the
that.
burden of each and every one of us. And
We
today
all
it was
have
you.
our own challenges.
Indeed, it was. We're now moving into a core topic. This is the part of the show where we talk about the core topic.
Yes.
And, we got two things today. And to appease my good friend Andrew, we're going to be doing this one first. We're going to be recasting Woody Harrelson, Tobias
right,
Beckett
okay.
from... made a big deal about it at the start, and so here we go. Tobias Beckett from Solo, played by Woody Harrelson. We're saying not who could do it better, but maybe if he wasn't around.
Yeah.
If
Much
he
though I'm
wasn't able
happy.
to show it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy that he's around, but who else could have done it? And what do we think? Andy, let's go with you first.
So I had two options. I don't know if
Okay.
you
Me
want to
too,
do.
me
Oh, good. Did you also have two options,
Nah,
Ben?
sorry, just one.
Sad. You've got time to think of a second
If
one.
you
though.
say,
Okay.
if
I'll have a
either of you say, bloody, what's his name? That dude who could play any character ever.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, what's his name now?
I can't think of
It's
it.
a race to...
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. Idris.
Actually, I
just,
didn't even think of Idris Elba.
He would actually be so good.
He would pretty
he
pretty
could
good.
do it too.
Yeah, he could do it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually think of
That's
Idris.
my second one there.
Great
Okay.
choice.
Okay.
Great choice, Ben. No, so I thought I had two. I had Al Pacino, Scarface Al Pacino. I thought that would be really interesting.
Age
Say
bracket.
hello to my little friend. Yeah, so same age.
So Scarface. Okay. Yeah.
Scarface, so 80s Al Pacino.
Eee.
I thought would be an interesting, because he brings some kind of this really interesting energy to that role. But thinking about it a little bit further, it is a Western. It is definitely the planet he dies on is that fly-bitten whatever planet it was.
I don't know what it was.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Sandy.
How does he actually die?
Han
He gets
Solo.
shot by Han
Okay.
Han shoots first.
Right.
for the
Yeah.
first time.
It's
Yeah, that's when he first
coming back
shoots
to me.
first. So I thought, what
yeah.
better person to play a gunslinger other than Idris Elba? Clint Eastwood. So Western
Yeah.
80s, 70s Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry style.
Yeah.
Was that 5 or was that 6?
There you go.
Feeling lucky. Punk.
Is he constantly squinting as well? In this?
If he's not squinting, he's playing the part wrong.
True.
Yeah, you have to squint. I'm pretty sure it's in the description. Squints.
All right.
But yeah, that were my kind of choices. And I think now that I think about it more, I'm leaning more towards Clint Eastwood than Al Pacino.
not Idris Elba.
He's had his time.
Okay.
He's had his time.
Benjamin, who you got?
Tom Hanks.
Mate.
Yeah. So he seems very nice, and he's like the mentor at the start. You're like, I can trust this guy. And then
good point.
later on, he turns bad. Which I can only name one movie where he turns bad, and I haven't even seen it.
What's that?
The Circle.
No, I haven't seen that either.
Apparently, it's not very good, so I wouldn't recommend
Probably because he
it.
turns bad and he's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
I think that could work. It could be interesting. Tom Hanks has done the Polar Express, and we all know the train scene in Solo is the highlight of the movie.
This is a good point. He's got that sort of.
We're going to the
pedigree.
North Pole, of course.
All aboard!
I cannot do his voice. Hard though I
Me
try.
neither.
I can't do any voice, so hey.
Hey, well, Christopher Lloyd. Listen to last week's episode.
Yeah, that was
There you
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't so bad.
I'd say I could imagine that. Older Tom Hanks, are you saying?
Yeah, what's even the latest movie he's been in? I'm trying to picture him
I'd got to know.
right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, I would
Like
go.
Sully? Like old?
I would go a bit younger if there was the choice, but it could work. Old him at the time Solo was made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Or Idris Elba, I had.
Actually?
No.
Okay.
I was thinking a younger, like maybe 40s, Jeff Bridges for
yeah, righto.
kind of like Big Lebowski type, overgrown, long hair, like just
Oh,
really, hey
interesting.
man, like chill.
that
like,
rock really tied the room together.
Yeah.
Like, that's just your opinion, man.
Less of the cockiness from Woody Harrelson and more of the I don't care about anything type attitude.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, interesting.
That or Denzel Washington.
Oh, Denzel
has he
would be a
done
good
bad
character. Oh, he's got some. I don't.
Technically, Tobias really isn't a bad. He's not a villain, really.
No, he's
Yeah.
just self-interested.
Yeah, he just makes a selfish call at the last moment.
I feel like Denzel Washington is always like not
he's a
selfish.
sweetheart, isn't he?
He's like got his set of morals and
Yeah.
everything that he
thinking-
he does.
I'm thinking of all the-
horrible things.
Yeah.
Go
So I'm
on.
thinking like Man on Fire. He did really well. That was a great movie.
I guess in
Equalizer
Flight,
was great.
He was a bit selfish. He was
Yeah.
drinking. And
I think there's a
flying
movie
plane.
he's in now called The Little Things or something, where he plays a retired cop, but maybe he's also the bad guy. I don't know. It's a bit ambiguous. I haven't seen it yet.
Is Man on Fire good?
Man on Fire is a great movie. Yeah,
I've
definitely
heard
recommend
about
it.
that recently.
It's got Christopher Walken, who could also be an interesting Tobias Beckett.
Christopher Walken.
I don't even know how to see. I don't think even he knows how he talks. So
He just throws like, my son.
it's
Yeah.
weird. There's a whole bunch of. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Indeed.
Yeah, those were good choices. I
Yeah.
like it.
I like the idea of, so you've seen The Equalizer.
Yes.
How he's
Yes.
kind of very much to the point. This is what you've done. This
Yeah.
is what needs to happen.
I need to watch those movies again. They were good movies.
Yeah, not bad. They're not bad. Definitely.
Is there like a quote? I'm trying to think of something.
From The Equalizer.
Yeah, so I'm like I'm
One
gonna
plus
kill you or
one
something.
equals two. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
don't-
don't
Now I'm
know what that
about
is.
to
He's got like the
kill
watch and he like
you.
times things.
Yeah, so
and-
because it used to be like Black Ops and Wet Works and all that sort of stuff.
I
And
bite my tongue so hard all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So many things. Anyway.
All right.
Okay, second part of our core topic today. We're looking at, and this is part of a mini series that we're doing here on Astromech. We're looking at frames or shots, our favorite ones from the movies. And right now we're focusing on the OT because that's what we
That's
were
cool.
introduced to first. So that's what's happening.
cool.
So we'll do episode 4. We'll talk about all of our shots kind of around the table.
Shall we start at the very beginning and just keep going?
Mine are a bit sporadic, I'm afraid. I wrote them down as I thought of them.
Yeah,
Are we
okay.
going to revisit OT at any point?
Sure, we can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. I feel like there's just so many that I probably missed some.
I think we probably need to condense
Yeah.
it down to maybe 2 or 3 each, and then because we'll
I've got
probably
2
have
for this week then.
we'll probably have massive overlap as well.
That's so fine. I mean, like, okay, so episode 4, everyone's gonna say Twin Suns, right? Like, you have to.
yeah, that's the obvious.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that gets.
Yeah, and that was the one that kind of sparked the whole conversation in the first place when I posted it to the chat and said, "Hey, look, is there a more iconic screen in Star Wars, and it was Luke standing on Tatooine outside the homestead with
Right.
the twin sons.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For me, I wasn't really going for iconic. I was just like, I look at this and I go, wow, that's a
nice shot.
That's a nice shot. So, with that, I might take it away then because I
Go
got
ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 for episode 4.
Okay.
It's like
Have you got
poetry.
5 for episode 5?
I might do. Let's see where we go.
Have you got
Okay.
6 for episode 6?
No, I've got half of 6.
How about
You've
for
got
episode
half of-
7? Have you got 7?
Well, look, we're doing the original trilogy. Let's go with that. So my first one is R2 traversing the desert. This is kind of like moving into dusk. More so in the specialized edition, you see the skies lit up with like orange and different clouds and stuff. And he's traveling through that little ravine, and I think, man, I'm glad that was one of the touched up shots that it was very.
So is this wide? Or
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture the exact shot.
So yeah, this is like the very first shot you see of him traveling down. It just shows you, look at this massive background,
Yeah.
which used to be very dull, and then in the special edition they made it what it is.
Specialised it.
Yeah, nice.
So
Very cool.
yeah, Ben, let's go around this way. Ben.
Okay. This one's maybe not as much a beautiful frame. I've got another one that is, but just a cool the way it's filmed when C-3PO spots the sandcrawler from right in the distance, and you just see that
Oh,
kind
the
of
flash.
reflection of the
Yeah.
light. I just thought that was a really cool way of doing it, and
Yeah.
it works well in the shot. It shows the scale of this desert, and there's this tiny thing in the distance, which you wouldn't think much of because it's just tiny, and then when you see it, the full thing is massive. So
Yeah, and you go, oh.
And then back at him the other way, like him waving up and down.
Yeah.
From their perspective, is like,
yeah.
In the fiberglass suit.
There we go.
Anthony Daniel. Go for it.
Okay, so I think you guys have gone a little bit too far on one of the more iconic screens. I think one of the most iconic screens out of that movie is the opening
Of course.
with the Star Destroyer, Tantive 4, the blockade runner out in front, like that shot and that
that's classic.
those first couple of screens, that whole sequence. That's that's one of the most iconic screens. I think if you're gonna look at put a picture on a wall, that kind of
I've
brings
got
back.
that. I got lucky to draw one. A
Oh,
custom
really?
one. Yeah.
Can you
Your
get
brother,
lucky to
yeah.
draw me one?
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
one.
sure.
I've got a blank wall.
The funny thing I've just thought about that, and forgive me, this is off topic, but why is it called the blockade runner when it can just be tractor beamed right into a ship? Like you can just catch it, like net it out of space. Who thought to call it the blockade runner? The thing you smash through blockades with. It's like, man, I just captured your ship, and all I had to do was push a
Well, it's
button on
kind
my.
of got like a hammerhead design to it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So you could just like smash through, barge through some stuff.
I was today old when I thought about this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that's kind of you're right.
Well, maybe that's what it was designed for, but then the Empire went along and just yoink.
Yeah, just grabbed.
But like, that's the thing. I don't think a Star Destroyer was. Oh no, maybe it was sort of standard, but that's sort of supposed to be like, wow, this is massive versus what we'd normally be dealing with is a lot smaller, and we can just barrel through it with the front of the ship.
Gotcha. Yeah, because they did that in Rogue One, right? Like that's how they used it. So
Yeah.
neat.
Imagine I'm holding Porkins.
I can't. My imagination. All right. So next, what do we got here? First shot of the Millennium Falcon. Just seeing it parked.
Piece of junk.
Exactly. What a horrible piece of junk. And
You flew in this? Braver than I thought.
look, it's iconic. Really, this for me is iconic. Where there's nothing grand about it. I think, and that's what's so special. It's like this is your ship. So yeah.
After it's been talked up and you never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's like this big
Should I
spiel
have?
and it's just
Ship they
trash.
did the Castle Run in 12 parsecs.
Wow.
14.
11.
All right.
Okay. Jabba's palace. It's like sort of.
Wait.
Yeah.
Episode 4.
Are we still on episode 4?
Yeah.
Still in episode 4 there, chum.
I thought the whole thing was just OT. Isn't that the theme?
No, we would. Okay. Yeah, I see how you're looking at it that way, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've got ones from every single, like, episode 4, 5, and 6. But
Okay.
that's okay. You can do that one. That's all right.
I've only got 2 overall just from the OT.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
I can see now how you would think to stretch this across multiple.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I should have thought about that more.
That's okay. That's all right.
I'll
Are you the
say
same
that
with
then.
that one,
You
Andy? or-
guys go.
No, I've got several for each.
All right,
but
you guys keep
I'll
going.
probably condense my list a little bit for time space.
All right.
So I think for episode 4, I think the first screen of the Death Star, particularly when it lands on or hits the Yavin system, and we see the full thing
Yeah.
kind of in space.
Nice.
And potentially to kind of tie back into that, the explosion at the end, particularly the specialized version with the ring, the big bada boom.
We're overlapping here, you and I.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So I think those particular screens, I kind of see them as tied together because they're about the same thing. I think those are a couple of the most iconic. The start of the Death Star and then the end of the Death Star, essentially.
I also like the outside shot of the Yavin 4 base with all like the vines overgrowing it and everything. This grand sort of temple looking thing.
And that's definitely only special edition. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
There is the same shot, but just it looks way better, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 5, here we go.
Yes.
I do actually have one of episode 4 now.
Okay.
All right, you
Okay, go
just
ahead.
triggered my memory. The guy up in the watchtower.
I was going
above
to
the
talk
trees.
about that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have-
and
When-
it's just
when he's
a nice
tracking the-
wide shot.
yeah.
It's just this little.
And he's
sort
tracking and he's got these little.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or at least
I
I
do
think it's wide. I'd have to actually look at the shot.
I've had
It
this
is a
sound
good
effect
shot.
for a while. Like I don't know when I was going to use it, but I guess in times of great annoyance. There you go.
Alright, fair enough. Moving right
That
along.
works.
That wasn't annoying. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, the Yavin Tower guy.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Who knows?
How does he pee?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Probably just straight down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Sorry, General.
Nobody look.
Why is it always raining?
Alrighty, episode 5. Of course, looking at the Battle of Hoth. So many different shots there, but the one I want to bring to your attention is the opening one of the trench, where you see all the men like run up and slam against the wall, like in this kind of domino fashion, coming toward the camera. And then the guy with his binocs. So,
Yep.
do you remember the shot, Ben?
Sorry, say it again.
You're inside the trench with the camera.
Yeah.
Looking down the trench, and all these rebel dudes are running to
Yeah.
fill there, and
Okay.
they're all one at a time, like hitting the wall, like getting ready with their gun over the top.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they do
No,
the
that's
same
cool.
shot in Last Jedi, and it was cool then as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm.
Cool. Ben?
I haven't.
Think of something. Come on,
Well,
top of your
alright,
head.
think
This
The,
is-
the end shot's nice.
All right, there you go.
Then
Cool.
looking
Yeah,
out
that's
into
true.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So for me, it's the Wampa. Particularly Luke hanging upside down.
Ah, okay.
I think that's probably
cool. That's
out
a
of
cool
out of
frame.
all of them. Like, there's plenty of shots throughout the entire movie. Cloud City, all that sort of stuff, and the reveal with Darth Vader. But I think out of all of the screens for Empire, the one that kind of means the most and is immediately recognizable is Luke hanging upside down in the ice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice. Otherwise, what have I got here? The platform where Luke loses his hand,
Oh, of
like one of
course,
the brilliant paintings you see there.
Yeah.
That's a great one as well. Doesn't need a whole lot of explaining, as well as him looking down and you see the shaft that he falls down. Again, painted. I just say it's well done. I think it's
Yeah.
a good
I
piece
agree.
of art.
Yep.
Watercolors. Yeah.
Watertight.
Okay.
I can add in one more then if you want.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Empire is follow. These are all just inspired by what you're saying. Is then him hanging off the little antenna thing at
Yeah.
the bottom, and it's like sunset. So you've got this beautiful like sky and clouds in the background, but he's about to die.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Well, he
it's a
thinks he's
nice,
about
it's
to
a
die.
cool frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this Exogorth as it comes out of the asteroid to try and bite and
So, riffing off one of Ben's ideas from last week, you know how you said, like, you know, when he first meets the ghost of Obi-Wan, he's like dying in the snow and Ben doesn't even care.
Yeah.
Can you imagine he's there, like, in Cloud City, about to die, hanging on this thing, and then Ben appears again, like,
You must complete your training.
Yes, I
Go
told
back
you
to
not to
Dave.
leave.
What did I say?
Just lets go, falls into.
Every
I'll
single
teach you.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, episode 6. Ben.
Yes, that Jabba's palace shot. So
Yeah.
it's not the first time we're introduced to it, but there's a shot outside, like
Yeah.
a sunset or
Yeah.
twilight, if you will. And
That's a great
I
scene.
think it's just a special edition where the frog guy or whatever eats something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a nice frame. You see the whole thing. It's a good scene transition, and it's nice lighting and all that. So yeah, cool frame.
Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
I have Luke standing above the Sarlacc pit, walking the plank. And
That's cool.
I like
Yeah.
that one. That's very good.
For me, it is the moment just before the shield generator explodes, where we see the Endor forest, and then we see the shield generator
Yeah.
and the screen, just so we can
Like
kind
the
of
dish and stuff?
the dish
yeah.
with the spikes and all that sort of stuff. That particular screen, and then obviously after that it explodes and you know, kablammo.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a really, really nice shot, and I think they use a lot of that as part of like merchandising graphics and stuff like that to kind of represent Endor, and I think that's maybe why I'm drawn to that particular screen.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it happens, I also had the reactor core blowing up in the Death Star.
yeah, good
You see all the ships leaving that one as it's breaking, the whole thing falls, and then
Yeah, and it kind of
yeah.
Wait, what?
So they're all inside the Death Star. They're doing that.
And when they're flying and the explosions behind them?
No.
When they're right in the middle
Yeah.
with the thing.
Yeah, they shoot
okay.
that
where
thing.
it falls into the 2 points connect, and it they cross the beams.
Do you remember that level in Lego Star Wars?
Yeah, I definitely
What an
remember
annoying
that.
level.
That was, yeah.
Oh.
Look, we
not
got a
aware.
lot of things to look forward to in the new game, and I hope they fix that. 'Cause
If
it was
anything.
such a pain.
Gah!
Was it particularly repetitive or difficult? Is that why?
Yes, yeah. It wasn't as bad as the Hoth one because you've got to like drag these bombs and the rope
Oh.
always snaps and you've got to go the whole way back and there's people shooting at you. and it's
Makes you go.
so annoying. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
It's rough times. I'll let you do one more if you have any more.
No, I'm good.
Okay, Ben, did you
Imagine
have?
looking closely at that shot of yours and you see like Palpatine, like this little dot, like falling into the reactor. He's gone down the shaft.
Well, he doesn't because he returns.
That's
so,
it. I already told you guys how he escapes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually,
No,
do
that's
you know
good.
what? I do have one, and I'm gonna say it is Luke levitating C-3PO. So when he's in the Ewok village and he's sitting on that chair and he gets levitated, that particular still is one of the other iconic screens.
Never know when you're being serious or not.
I'm being legitimate.
Yeah.
I might not like the particular character or the person that plays the
The
character.
director just like bumps the camera.
Why won't he die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Excellent. All right. Well, okay. I'll save a bunch more of mine then for another day. I reckon, much like Duel of the Mates and stuff like that, I think we can just take 2 shots each from a particular movie and say,
Nice.
these are mine for today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice. It's up to you, the listeners, to come up with a name for that segment, please.
Also, send us some emails or some Facebooks or a pigeon and say, hey.
No more pigeons, please.
Do you know
need
the
to
name
edit.
of the director of photography by any chance?
For which movie?
Any of them?
No.
Okay, well,
One of them's called.
insert name
Paul.
here, shot first. Cause
Oh.
Oh, that's funny. We should-
Listeners, you were too late. Ben already came up with one.
That's copyright now. That's
Yeah.
kind of. But no, I was saying, listeners, send us an email at turnsounds@gmail.com. Send us a pigeon. Send us a
pigeons.
crocodile. Give us some info. Tell us what screens you liked. What's the most iconic for you out of all of those movies? If you could pause it and have one screen and put it on a poster on a wall, which one would it be?
Yeah. What's your desktop screensaver or
Ooh,
your wallpaper? Let's
Got to save those screens.
Indeed.
Mine's a Calvin and Hobbes rendition of Chewie and
All right.
Han.
No disintegration.
So I didn't hear him say no. I just heard disintegration. So I better do that again.
No disintegration.
Because we did not disintegrate in this next.
Don't disintegrate.
Don't get it twisted. And today we are being honoured by being sung into this scene by our friends over at Dire Straits,
No.
I believe. Take it away.
Now look at that, Death Star. That's the way you do it. You put a rebel in a red X-Wing. That is working. That's the way you blew it. Goodbye to Tarkin from the galaxy.
Gracious me.
That is working. That's the way you blew it. Let me tell you. Well, that's no moon. Maybe stay on target with a computer. Maybe stay on target with the Force. Fresh.
Well, thank
Is
you,
that
Dire
you?
Straits.
I haven't heard that before.
So when I asked you like 2 weeks ago, how did you like Dire Straits, and you went, yeah. Liar!
Well, there are a few new ones. I couldn't remember what
He hates them all, and he just says,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's just to make you feel better." Yeah.
There you go.
Filled with rage.
Maybe I heard it and I just like suppressed
Blanked it
my
out.
memory.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My friend, until you submit your Freddie Mercury,
Yeah, I do need to do that. Hey.
can you at least tell us which what song it's parodying?
What's it called? Having a good time? No, that's not what it's
Yeah.
Um,
Tonight I'm gonna have a...
That's not what it... Oh, Don't Stop Me Now. That's
Yeah.
what the song's called. There we go.
Yeah.
That one.
Okay.
I'm already looking forward to it. Edge of my seat.
Please,
dear.
please make that happen for us.
Okay.
All right. So for my no disintegrations, I'm just going to get into this.
Please do.
At the beginning of episode 3 in the title crawl, the first word is war, because it's
What is
Really?
it good for?
yeah, that's the
Wow.
with an exclamation mark and everything. War, and then it talks about
Oh, okay.
Okay.
yeah.
W-A-R, war.
What did you think I said?
Steve or Mark War, and like war,
Like
the cricket war.
W-A-H exclamation mark. Whoa! That's not true. I don't remember.
Star Wars episode 3. Whoa.
Dude, sweet.
Yeah. That'd be
Okay,
if Jeff
that makes
Bridges
a lot
narrated.
of
Yeah,
sense.
that's right. Yeah.
I'm glad you asked me if I was sure about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why does that draw you in particular? Why is that your?
So it says war, and then the thing I'm getting, there are war drums at the start of episode 3. It just starts with this dum, 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 and I think it's cool.
It's a neat little tie-in.
Yeah.
I never realized.
Yeah, and then they continue, and then they slowly get drowned out by this score that comes in as Annie and Obi are flying around the
Yeah.
space,
Thing.
the void of space.
Cool.
There you go. I like it.
Cool.
Benjamin, my friend.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What? Okay. So we all know that humility is a good thing. It's a desired trait. And so this is something that'll make you like Darth Vader a little bit more. Is that his hologram, when they're on Hoth and they're looking at the thing, it's just this tiny little guy like on a screen. It's really small. But then you've got like the Emperor when General Grievous is talking to him, or especially in episode 5 when Darth Vader is like massive, and then Snoke takes it up and makes it even bigger.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
they've
yeah.
got to be so
Chair
big.
as well, yeah.
But then Darth Vader's like, nah, that's all right. I'm happy to be little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
He doesn't. He knows that he can get his way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he
Yeah,
can
if
kill
he's-
people through the hologram.
True.
If it's
Yeah.
choking and whatnot.
I'm sure that's nothing to do with humility at all,
No,
but
that's true, yeah.
it's funny to think about.
First person
Yeah.
to take a call from, hi, you're so tiny. Why are you?
Shut up. Yeah. There we go.
All right, so mine is a little bit different this week, and it's kind of inspired by IMC3PO, the audio book. So
Dang this keyboard, man.
I know,
Can't
right?
wait to get a new desk.
Yeah. So
Turnsounds.com. Flick us some dollary dues.
Please do.
Yes.
Please plug in at turnsounds.com. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry, Andy. Let me just get...
no, that's cool. Go
Really
ahead.
helps us out, boosts the show, and as Saul Guerrero might say, it continues the dream or something, keeps the dream alive. Keep the dream alive. Keep it alive.
That worked out for him, didn't it?
It
He got
did.
blown up.
That was his dream.
Yeah.
To get blown up?
Yeah.
Really?
Kind of. Anyway,
Whoa.
moving on, getting away from that. So, look, I've listened to IMC3PO, and I think so. C3PO is on a desert planet. He's in a jungle. He's in some very harsh environments, and what I appreciate is the effort that they went into, because walking in that suit is very difficult.
It's like a lobster out of water, really, just cooking.
But
in
what's really challenging that I learned is that Anthony Daniels, particularly with the lights, because the lights are just powered by a battery pack, and so they're just LEDs connected to a battery pack. So he's only seeing through the little black pupils. So he's got no peripheral vision. He can't see down. He can't see up. He can only see through those little holes.
Yeah.
But yet he manages to kind of shuffle around, and I'm sure they did many a
that's
take where he
crazy.
fell over. But I appreciate, I suppose, the effort and the challenge that presented. I thought that was kind of interesting.
On Endor, like when you say that, you just think about it. You go, that's got to be a nightmare.
Like there was a few times where they had to go up to kind of crest a hill, and he would fall over inevitably because there'd be a
Someone
tree
needs
root
to have
or something
footage
else.
of that.
Yeah, I hope so.
There's already that video of him falling over, like in the green screen.
Off the
scene.
edge of the
yeah.
stage,
That's in a sound stage
Yeah.
too. Like,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's because he talks about that actually in the audiobook. I can't remember what he said, but yeah, like he can barely see anything. He can barely hear anything. So I suppose my disintegrations is I appreciate that he went through quite a significant challenge just to physically embody C-3PO. And I had a new appreciation for that.
I really appreciate you saying that, Andy. And then imagine as well, like I know you've said that the suit's got a little bit more
High-tech.
accommodating and high tech and easier to put on and whatnot. But imagine, so you've gone through all of that with the original trilogy, and then you get called back for the prequels and then the sequels as well. Like, you got to have some gumption to be doing all,
Yeah, and look, he talks about really, loving the character and wanting to be part of that and all of that. So he wants to be involved, and they obviously as technology involves, so did the suit. So
Did he ever pitch a Pinocchio scenario where he turns into a real boy, or like
not that I'm
Vision
aware
or
of,
whatever from
not that I'm
Marvel?
aware of, but they did do a lot of like extra content stuff out there. There's some weird stuff out there apparently.
What if similar to L3, like in episode 9, how they did this, complete memory wipe to get the thing, they like uploaded his consciousness into the Millennium Falcon as well. Like, the odds of getting through that asteroid field, shut up.
Well, actually, it was interesting because in episode 9, he talks about wanting to be sent off in a kind of in a final way, and like he's happy for his character to kind of end
Get
and
blown up.
yeah, or die or be heroic in some way. That hero's
Melt.
death. Yeah, essentially, Terminator style.
Yeah.
But JJ makes it really clear. He goes, "No, I can't do that to C-3PO." So, I mean, there is a lot of love for the character.
on,
It's
JJ,
not-
what are you doing, man?
Just have some heart. Have some heart and kill C-3PO. But yeah, I think the challenges that he went to just to embody that, I think that needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah, I like it.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well,
I went into it with an open mind. Thank you.
excellent. Excellent. Proud of you. We're getting over time here, so I'm wondering whether our dialect of the day could be for our plugged-in people.
Why not?
I think so.
I mean, it makes
I
no
think
difference to us, but I feel like everyone else might shake a bit of a fist at us. But hey,
Screw you guys. I was looking forward to that segment. Well, sorry, mate, with the weird accent.
I was going
Why
to
don't
say,
you
I
plug
can't,
in.
can't quite place where that person's
I
from.
don't know
but
where that. I don't know what that was.
I don't think I should guess
no.
either.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can have a look at all of this when you plug in at turnsounds.com. So until then, I've been your host, Isaac Mike Anthony, Isaac the Hut. Looking forward to talking to you
Isaac
next
the Butt.
week. Same time. Shush. Benjamin is
And
here.
Lars signing out. Is it not for plugged in people?
No.
Andrew Green, Greedo, McCon.